Nasty fights, humiliation, failure. Harry and Meghan are at a crossroads after separation. She's staying in the USA for money and fame. He's heading to Africa for peace and privacy. Harry and his nasty diva wife Meghan are taking a trial separation after their California dream of fame and fortune came crashing down. They have received some very bitter public backlash, some canceled business deals, and some nasty family feuds, according to palace insiders who spoke with the National Enquirer magazine. As Meghan and Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy, are licking their wounds, Harry apparently is heading to Africa to try to rebuild his life, while Meghan Markle, his Z-list actress wife, remains in Hollywood chasing the shadow of superstardom, according to sources. A high-level palace source says they're trying to figure out what hit them. This separation is no surprise. Harry doesn't fit in Meghan's tacky Tinseltown world. I think he was always uncomfortable with her obsession with being a show business power player, but he was blinded by love and went along with it. Sadly, he lost his identity in the process. He needs to find himself, and a trial separation may be the only way they can resolve their differences and go forward stronger than ever. The Montecito-based parents of invisible children Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet are desperately looking for a reset after a disastrous run of bad PR, according to industry insiders. In addition to all the negative backlash from their public trashing of Harry's family, they were criticized as being grifters by a Spotify executive who cut their $20 million deal. Meanwhile, another bigwig in the industry spoke out and said that Meghan Markle is talentless, and of course they were made fun of for falsely claiming they were victims of this near-fatal high-speed car chase through the streets of Manhattan. New York City's traffic is notoriously slow, so I'm not sure who they thought they were going to be fooling with that one. But anyway, reportedly Meghan is not going to be with Harry when he heads to Africa to film a documentary part of their flailing $100 million deal with Netflix. And according to sources, Netflix has told them they better get busy or forget about it. In the past, Harry has said that he considers Africa to be his second home, a place where he feels most like himself, according to the Palace Courtier. Meanwhile, Meghan is listening to advice to plot her next chapter as a one-woman show without Harry, according to an industry snitch. Royal expert Daniela Elzer reports Meghan and only Meghan has a new super agent. She's looking to establish her own brand and make millions without him. For the first time, they are truly on divergent professional paths. Apparently, Meghan believes she has a better chance of becoming a Hollywood power player without Harry with her, according to the palace source. And they also said, although they're in love and Harry supports her, we fear their marriage may become a casualty. There have been rumors for a while now that their marriage is not doing very well. The palace source notes Meghan's usually at her husband's side, gripping his hand, but she was missing for months after he launched his royals-bashing memoir Spare in January. On a rare outing together in April, she publicly brushed aside Harry's attempt to smooch on the kiss cam at a Los Angeles Lakers basketball game. Then she snubbed King Charles's coronation in May as Harry went solo. They didn't even publicly acknowledge their 5th wedding anniversary 2 weeks later. So according to the insider, it sparked rumors Meghan, who has a love him and leave him history, is readying to bolt again. Their marriage and public image have been adversely impacted by nasty fights with his family and the ongoing feud with her family. It's ugly. Angela Levin, the royal biographer, has also weighed in. She says she believes a marriage between the self-proclaimed woke crusaders has disintegrated badly, and Meghan will slowly separate from Harry. She says she's a careful plotter. She's making sure he's in a hopeless situation so she can get the children. He's completely isolated from his family and friends. And apparently Harry is not in close contact anymore with his long-term friends, who he admits are disgusted and chastise him for his attacks against his own family. Harry's image also took a beating in June in London's High Court, where he has filed a lawsuit against a publisher alleging that his phone was hacked, but on the witness stand he admitted that he doesn't have any evidence. The Palace Insider says the hits keep coming for the Sussexes, but being fired from Spotify was a game-changer. Harry's totally out of his depth and facing a challenging future. The Sussexes are under tremendous financial pressure to fund their lavish California lifestyle, including their $14 million McMansion and huge security costs. The stress, coupled with their emotional issues, has likely made life a living hell and pushed them to this trial separation. Harry's been in therapy for years, and Meghan has admitted in the past to feeling suicidal and dealing with depression. Taking time apart on different continents will hopefully help them find whatever they need to move on together or apart, says the insider. Meanwhile, it looks to us like Harry and Meghan have done a pretty good job of killing their own brand, and they lost that contract with Spotify. That was their fault. They have already shown that all they really know how to do is attack Harry's family. Neither one of them has the talent or the skills that make them worth anything at all in the industry. And most people are just sick and tired of the royal bashing, especially when it's obvious the reason for all the abuse is because they were financially cut off from the wealth of the royal family. Meghan thought that she was just going to get to lounge on beach chairs in California and watch as the money kept on rolling in, and the Hollywood A-listers would want to associate with her. Well, it's the same old lesson. It doesn't really matter where you go, you're always going to bring yourself with you. If Meghan could have been a big star, then I think that would have happened before she ever met Harry. I don't think they were ready to complain when Meghan and Harry merged their titles because the royal family knows they are incapable of making a success in the world of business dynamics, performing arts, scientific or industrial development, or of course in the world of finance and business. To make it in any of those fields, you would have to be talented, you would have to be intelligent, and you would have to be a hard worker. They're none of those things. All they ever had to sell was their connection to the royal family, and they sold the family out with nothing left for them to market now. Now, Queen Elizabeth had definitely been around long enough. She had seen enough royals fail to stay abreast of capitalism and crumble in her lifetime. She knew what was up with those two. Without the royal brand, they never would have made it, and with the money it has brought them, they should have been intelligent enough to build some apartment blocks as rental investment income. That would make sure that they had enough money to live on for the rest of their lives, but they didn't do that. When the Queen decided to kick them out, she probably knew what was going to happen, but she was smart enough to book out before they asked for a return to their overly privileged lifestyle with no financial responsibilities whatsoever. I would guess that Harry's already begging his father for a handout, he's trying to find a way home, and then Meghan's out looking for her next victim. Maybe she could get an eccentric millionaire from Doria's loving care aged care website without the need for any hands-on care. I'm guessing just a few bank account details would be enough. It's also important to note that the late Queen invited them to go see her on several occasions after they left. She invited them to come join her at Sandringham for the holiday or summers in Balmoral, but they never accepted after they left, and I can only assume that's because they would be expected to bring along their invisible children. I don't believe for a second that story about Her Late Majesty rolling around on the floor playing with Archofficial and Invisibet. That never happened. I mean, at that point, she was already suffering from cancer. She was experiencing some really severe mobility problems. In spite of all their lies, the late Queen never met Archofficial again after they slunk out of England, and I don't believe she ever met Invisibet at all. Sugars, if you know better than me, please try to prove me otherwise, because I'm not going to believe these lies anymore. And you, what do you think about this couple? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like it and share it with your friends who need it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.